Welcome, everybody. I'm Lucian Fogoros, and today we're talking about ESG solutions. And our guest today is the CEO of WellAware, Matt Harris. Introduce yourself and tell our audience your relationship with ESG. Maybe define what exactly is ESG.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having us on, Lucian. We're excited about being part of this discussion and the relationship with IIoT world and trying to get the message out there around a topic that maybe sounds new. It's not really new, but we think it's something that folks need to pay a lot more attention to going forward. And maybe we'll share a little bit as to why that's the case. But yeah, when you say ESG, it's really the three-letter acronym that's being given to the concept of environmental, social, and governance. And that is a huge topic in itself. So it covers everything from safety, from protecting the environment, from protecting our people, to how we operate as a business, how efficient we are with our operations. It has financial implications. It can cover a huge spectrum. So it's a broad category. It's something that we believe is very much worth everyone's time to better understand. And here's the reason: the big change that's happening is the investor community is becoming much more passionate about getting kind of a double bottom line effect on their investments. So, yes, they want to invest in great profitable companies, but they want to invest in great profitable companies that are taking care of their people, taking care of the environment, and are operating in a very sustainable way. So that's really kind of the big aha moment here is investors are going to be deploying their money going forward in a much more purposeful way into the companies that they're backing. And so that's why this is so important. Have companies been focused on profits? Absolutely. Have they always been focused on the safety of their people? Absolutely. Have they always tried to do it in the most efficient way? Sure. But now there's going to be a scoreboard, and the scoreboard is going to dictate where the dollars go. So every company needs to have financial investment, financial infusion, shareholders behind their companies. And so, one of the things we want to implore companies to consider is taking control of their own ESG, environmental social governance destiny. So track it, formulate a plan to display it, and basically take control of your own narrative. Because if you don't, your story will be told for you in the ESG context, which you don't want. And so that's the real opportunity here. This is a concept that was invented out of the UN back in 2004, and it's really begun to gain momentum. We've had about, 220 billion invested in this space currently, and that number is projected to go up to over $1 trillion just in the next few years. So it's really increasing in top of mind awareness.
Thank you, Matt. And I know when I was going through the MBA school in 2009, it was one of the mandatory class for managers at Case Western Reserve to take a class in ESG, or it was one of the mandatory classes. So, but do you find that the ESG to be a key motivator for your customers, and how would you compare it to other objectives such as lowering cost, improving performance, or business continuity?
Yeah, I think, kind of some of the things we just discussed are going to play into that decision for our customers. So we've been surprised. Our company began focused on operational efficiency for our customers. How can we give things in the field a voice? So our company, WellAware, we are an industrial Internet of Things company. We use technology to give a voice basically to sensors and machines in the field that play a very important role in operational, in safety, and in environmental outcomes. Historically, our customers have asked us for operational efficiency. That's where they've been focused. We've been very surprised, even in the last couple years, there's a lot more interest in environmental results, in protecting the environment, reducing carbon footprint, avoiding spills and catastrophic events that sometimes occur. We have gas releases that occur, not just in areas like oil and gas where we play a role, but in areas like wastewater treatment, where you're using chlorine to remove, some of the particulates in a water stream. Well, you don't want to release chlorine gas to the city of Houston, which is one of the areas that we're installed. And so that's a safety consideration. It's an environmental consideration. So our customers are becoming much more focused on, the ESG concept and, kind of results behind that piece of their business.
Thank you, Matt. In fact, you stole one of my question. How does industrial IoT protect your environments? You just gave some examples of that. Thank you for that. What's your elevator pitch to the new customer who are looking for the ESG solution, and what is your first selling point you use to grab their attention?
Well, again, ESG, I want to I want to caution people. It's such a broad category. It's really worthwhile trying to understand what the customer's top priority is, and asking that question seems to always be a very useful exercise for us when we're in talking to a customer about ESG. Typically, the first thing they're going to say that's top of mind for them is safety of their people. And you know, let's unpack that a little bit. Number one is just the obvious impact to the human. Everybody's in business to make money, but not at the expense of the safety of our people. And so, our customers are asking us to use technology to help them protect all of the people involved in their business, their customer, or their people themselves, their partners, their customers, etc. And IoT can play a very practical and a very significant role in doing that. One example of that is, helping someone know when they might need to go out to a hazardous environment and when they don't need to go out. So if you avoid a trip to look at a site or to check on what's going on with a site, what you're really doing is many things. You're avoiding that person getting into a vehicle, driving on a road that might present a potential accident, and it's a statistic. Um, and you're also eliminating the carbon footprint that would have come with that vehicle traveling to and fro. And so that's just a very practical way of using IoT to protect our people and both protect the environment. So we're allowing our people to focus on the things that and our customers people to focus on the things that they can add the most value to, which is beginning to look at the data that a machine is giving you and begin to optimize the way that machine works in the field, not going over there in the field and risking your life or someone else's life and looking at it and trying to write down a few notes about it. That's no longer necessary. Technology gives us x-ray vision into what's going on remotely out in the field. And so we're seeing our customers take advantage of that on multiple fronts.
Thank you for those great insights, Matt. Now, just to drill in deeper a little bit, is we've been connected, right, for several decades. Why is better data collection through IoT technology necessary for company pursuing better ESG performance?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yeah, I would say our level of connectedness, while we have been connected for a few decades, has dramatically increased in the last decade itself. The technical innovations that have happened mostly in the consumer space with smartphones and moving much larger file sizes, videos, etc. I'm sure everyone that's watching this webinar today can feel the way that technology is now truly integrated into their lives. Some people love that. Some people might be getting a little bit overwhelmed with it, but the reality is we are very much a connected society now, and that's at the people level. But machines and sensors are way behind that, Lucian. So machines and sensors also have a story to tell. They also want to tell how they're doing out in the field. They want to tell you when something's about to break. They want to hold up their hand and say, "Hey, if you don't change something now, we might have a catastrophic event." But guess what? We haven't given them a voice yet. So we really don't even have a remember the old 2G cellular phones where you kind of just open it up and it was really just a voice call for us. We really in most cases haven't even given machines and sensors the ability to make a voice call. WellAware is working to give machines and sensors that same smartphone interface that we have today. So we're getting rich data sets from machines and sensors. We're running algorithms on them. We're beginning to tell them how to operate differently and how to optimize their results. And so what's changing is the introduction of technologies that have come from the consumer world that is connecting all of us and making this experience for us, the smartphone experience, possible. We're applying that now into harsh and hazardous conditions like industrial manufacturing or energy or petrochemical or oil and gas, and the results are profound. It gives people and it gives businesses the ability to have much better results because it's not a fire and forget or a hope strategy anymore. It's a real time. I'm going to monitor these assets. I'm going to optimize them locally and remotely, and I'm going to make sure I'm using my people, my most valuable assets, to interpret what the machines are telling us and to tell the machines what to do differently. So it's really a revolution in terms of how people are being deployed. And it's a great opportunity for people because they have this upward mobility in their careers from going around and checking on things to essentially, I think of it as a conductor in the orchestra now. So you can listen to all these instruments, all these machines, and you begin to tell them how you want them to play the music for you. And that's what our company, WellAware, is trying to enable for our customers.
And it sounds like you're empowering the speed to decision. You've talked about putting the real time decision makers into the people's hands. And so there's a couple of aspects you also touch. You touch on the extraction of the data, the collection of the data that's more in cost and the hardware. How do you decide on this? How did you decide to go a subscription model versus license? And what are the pros and cons, if any?
Yes, great question. And let me just use this as an opportunity. My marketing team's going to kill me, but I haven't shared our mission statement. But our mission is to connect people to the things that matter. And so hopefully that makes sense relative to some of the things we've shared today. But that's typically machines, sensors, outcomes, etc. We believe, Lucian, fundamentally that there's a data problem that exists. That data problem is a complex problem, but it usually translates into incomplete data, um, you know, not high enough resolution data, maybe not secure data, maybe unstructured data. I don't want to get into too many of the details, but the bottom line is if you don't get great data from these assets, it's really hard to interpret insights. It's I say it's kind of like trying to put lipstick on a pig. I mean, it's still a pig at the end of the day, right? So we're focused on getting great data from hard to reach places and then getting that data into a form that our customers can do things with it, improve safety, improve governance, improve their environmental footprints, improve sustainability operations. um, and so what we've learned from a business model perspective, yes, we build hardware, and yes, we do software, and yes, we do communications, but our customers don't want to pay for those individual components. What they really want is an outcome. They really want to pay for that data service, and they want someone else to worry about every little piece of the value chain that it takes to get to a great data outcome. So WellAware's business model hasn't always been data as a subscription, but it is today because we believe that our customers don't want to buy these. I mean, what they want is the insights that come from these. Now we've developed this technology, and this is an enabler to get them to the outcome they want. So the best analogy that I like to use is, when I subscribe to cable television at my house, I want to watch ESPN, or I want to watch. Well, most recently it's Lifetime with these all these Christmas shows coming on with my wife. But that's what we care about, right? Is watching that TV and those shows and services. What shows up at my house is this box that I don't own, but it makes that experience of watching my favorite football team or watching the latest Christmas movie possible. WellAware is taking a very similar approach to the Internet of Things. We put the technology out in the field that allows our customers to get the result, which is a data insight that they really want to pay for. So that's kind of how we got to that data as a subscription or data as a service model. It's evolved for sure over time, and but we've tried to listen to our customers and listen to what they care about, and at the end of the day, that puts us really equally yoked with them in the sense that if we're not giving them a great data service, they can fire us, and everything that comes before that doesn't really matter. So that's really how we got to that model, and those are some of the benefits we see attached to it, mostly tied to helping our customers get the operational, get the safety, get the environmental results they're looking for.
Thank you, Matt, for the great insight. So if someone is watching in the audience and wants to take a look at your solution, because it sounds like you can find multiple industry reference a couple of them. What does it take to get started? What is it needed? And what's the go-to market? I guess is it through solution partners with your model?
Yeah, well, there's a number of different ways to get engaged with WellAware and allow us to get engaged with you. First place I would point anyone who's interested in learning more is our website. That website is WellAware, all one word, .us. And so go there and you can find out our standard products and solutions and what industries we serve. We serve a number of industries, as you've suggested. Um, we also allow you to fill out subscription information there on the website, to ask for more information, ask for a demo if you'd like to see how the system works. That's all available on our website. Now, what you're going to find on our website is mostly industrial related products and services. But there is one exception to that, Lucian, that I want to bring up because we care about it and it's something that we're helping a lot of people with. Um, because of the pandemic, one of the things we were asked to do was figure out, is there a way we can help in providing air purification for indoor environments. And so that is something that we've endeavored to do with a partner of ours, called Purafil. And so on our website, you're going to see a solution that actually offers air purification, and it offers all of the fleet management, energy management, and customer assurance attached to that. So we can help people get back to life. We've taken our exact same technology, which is this industrial Internet of Things technology layer, and we've attached it to an air purification platform. And of course, now we're talking about direct results in ESG. So we're taking care of people. We're allowing companies and businesses to stay in business. So that's the ultimate definition of sustainability. Um, and we're protecting the environment. In this case, it's an indoor environment. So COVID-19, this global pandemic that we're all walking through together, has really raised the awareness of just, wow, things can travel through the air. We can get sick if the air is not clean, and that's not just limited to viruses, but molds and even allergies. So I know it sounds a little bit like a departure from our core business. There's a common thread in the sense that we have been doing air monitoring and scrubbing with this partner in wastewater treatment applications and pulp and paper application in high corrosive environments, and we've now just for the benefit of the pandemic and our customers out there, have now brought that to you know um, the general commercial market. So we have pizza companies that are using it, doctors' offices, schools, corporate offices, you name it. So that you'll see that when you go onto our website. But in general, WellAware's traditional markets and solutions are really geared towards the industrial marketplace, and that's where I would point folks. We also do have a number of channel partners, like you mentioned. We're very, very blessed to be working with folks like AT&T and Verizon, AWS, Azure. These are all companies that are part of and make the WellAware experience possible. And so, if you have relationships with those companies, you can obviously ask them about WellAware, and they might be able to find us through their big networks. But feel free to reach out to us directly. We always love talking to folks and figuring out if we can help.
Thank you, Matt. And there was Matt Harrison, CEO of WellAware Corporation. And feel free to click on a link you see on a screen, as well as leverage the hashtag you see there to post questions, and we'll make sure that his team will get them addressed.
Lucian, thanks so much for having us. We appreciate you deeply and IIoT world and what you're doing and building the awareness and the opportunities and the possibilities that now exist with this new exciting digital technology. So thanks for having us.